Guess what day it is? It's Tradey's Tuesday with industry mentor Miles Primrose from BusinessThe. He's of course been mentoring tradies, builders for, well, right across the nation for over 17 years, and he joins us now with some pretty exciting news. You're becoming a tickereer.
Am I?
Or like a mouseketeer.
Is that a great thing?
Well, you know, I mean, we have trouble retaining stuff, but yeah. Welcome. That's what we give you.
Well, were you going to ask me, what is it?
What is it?
It's the missing link.
Right.
So many business owners have been looking for it. So
that was the joke.
Well, it's actually not a joke.
Okay.
So, as you know, mid-January, we've got a new show coming up.
We do.
The Trades and Builders Business Show.
Yes.
Which is going to be fantastic.
Hosted by someone we both know.
Absolutely. Bloody good bloke. Good bloke.
It's the internet, mate. It's fine. Carry on. Get them all out.
So the reason about the missing link is I've been helping trades and builders for a very long time, and my goal is to help 1 million trades and builders by 2030. Now, obviously, I can't do that.
1 million? You sound like the Prime Minister 3 weeks out from an election.
Well, people don't need to vote for me. I mean, they're already lining up anyway. So the thing is, I've got all this information, and my goal is to reach a wider audience. So with the Trades and Builders Business Show, I'll be able to actually get some free information to as many people as needed across Australia and further.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what it is, right? So we know that there are, and that's the whole point of Ticker, is that we know that people are out there. We know that they're doing their jobs as well as they can. Because of the sparse nature of Australia, there's no sense of community with a lot of these actual communities and business groups.
Absolutely. And look, sometimes I'll get inquiries from Darwin or another region, another state, and some people will fly in and some people they're not able to fly in. So I'll say, well, what else is available? So, you know, from January I'll be able to say, well, tune into this and at least you'll be able to get something. So,
well, tell us about the show. What are you planning? I should probably know this, but I'll ask you now live on air.
It's good to see you've thought of this beforehand. So,
who has time to think?
A new business? What are you talking about? I'm booking in leaders of associations.
Yep.
And the reason for doing that is it's not actually to promote their association. It's about actually, I get a lot of my clients saying, I'm part of this association, what do I get? But it's about getting these leaders in and actually saying, this is what we're going to do for you in 2020. There's also going to be the managing directors of a lot of companies supplying materials. So thereafter, it's a very cutthroat business for them. But I want to get them in and say, okay, well, what are you doing better for your clients this year? And there's also going to be some...
and do you think they have the answer? Do you think the heads of these industry associations or unions, etc., are thinking about their clients, or do you think that they're thinking about staying in power?
Well, it's not the unions, it's the suppliers. For like example, it might be the head of TradeLink for the plumbers, for example. Yeah. So that person might come in, and when I've listened to some people in charge of the suppliers, some of them actually, I feel, are actually more in tune with what their clients want than others.
Right.
And I really want them to be here to say, okay, this is what we're going to do for our clients in 2020.
What do you see as some of the challenges for the business of building in 2020? What's happening at the moment, would you say?
Well, they're heading to being a bit more regulated in certain areas, which could be a good thing in some ways. So that's going to put more strain on them from I suppose a back end or an office point of view. There's going to be more compliance. So it's needed, but they're going to have to actually step up the way they run the business side of things. How appropriate.
What are you trying to suggest? But running the business side of things, we've often talked about, because it is such a difficult aspect of a tradie's business, where there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things to keep in place. And Australia, you know, it's very different in Sydney and Melbourne, the conversations you and I have, compared to, say, regional Australia, where it's perhaps not necessarily on the tradie side, where it's harder for them to be able to call their own price or tell clients no, because there are more tradies than there are jobs in many places. What are your thoughts on situations like that, and what can be done?
I believe that a lot more interactive learning is needed. So it doesn't matter what the the problem is, whether it's to do with helping people with marketing or to do with helping people with compliance, it's important that we. One of the things that I find that gets offered a lot is webinars for helping small business owners, and I don't actually think. I actually don't like webinars. I actually want to do something that's actually because you've got somebody I feel you've got somebody talking at you the whole time, and I wanted to create something that's actually really interactive and it's really interesting. So if you're looking at those regional areas that you're talking about, it's funny because people in the regional areas say it's different to the city, and the people in the city say it's different to the regional areas.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand. We're in a regional area. Okay, but everything affects everything. The rain affects everything and affects the entire country. The drought affects the entire... I'm sure there's a shortage of jobs in the regional area and the city area. So it's really about actually making sure we can deliver things that are both exciting, fun, and they're going to make a positive change to the business owners.
Is that also what we can expect from your show? Exciting and fun and positive change?
100%, absolutely.
How long have you wanted to do a show like this for?
Oh, maybe 17 years.
17 years?
Yes.
And what have you learned during that 17 years, would you say, that has made you realise that what is needed right now in 2019 going into 2020 is a show to talk to people about these issues?
I believe it's something where it's going to be all about the industry, because there's too many things that are too broad. So a good example, there's a plumber that came, put a post on Facebook a couple of months ago. He said he was looking for a mentor that specialised in trades and builders. I had a few people that actually put my name in the post. Abracadabra, he's a client of mine, which is great. And he actually loves being in the room, in the training room with other trades and builders. He said, that's the thing. I don't want to be sitting next to somebody that owns a restaurant and somebody that owns a dress shop or whatever. I need to be around other people who are on the same journey. And that's what this show is about. It's actually just for trades and builders.
Yes.
It's going to be suppliers for trades and builders, industry experts. It's going to be everything about the industry. And I believe that's what's going to make the difference.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon. You can take the chain. You are the missing link, not the weakest link. But goodbye.